I'm Ollie Davis, this is the WrestleTalk News. Few professions count amongst the more resourceful workers than the humble deathmatch pro wrestler. Picture the scene. It's 7 a.m, it's dark, it's cold, but you've got to take your dog Benny for a walk and you can't find his leash. So just like searching under the ring for a weapon, you make the best of the first thing you can find. As Renee Paquette has posted, Jon Moxley couldn't find Benny's leash, so he took him for a walk with a USB cord, following up with a photo of Benny the dog, presumably about to be plugged into a modem. Of course, for a faster wrestling walk there, John, you want to be using a USB-C. Surprisingly, Moxley didn't have a wrestling weapon trope more appropriate easily to hand, like a chain or a bull rope or a dog collar. Dog collar's probably the most established one. At the same time Moxley was walking Benny with a USB cable, his New Japan protege Shota Umino was accepting matches on his behalf. At Saturday 14th's New Japan Royal Quest 3 show in London, which a few of us WrestleTalk lads were at, Umino challenged Will Ospreay for the IWGP United Kingdom, but really United States, Heavyweight Championship at next month's Power Struggle show. Ospreay would only accept, however, if Umino's mentor Moxley would also face Ospreay's faction mate, the Great Khan, on the same card, which Shota agreed. This marks the first New Japan appearance for Moxley since June, where he teamed with Umino and Claudio Castagnoli, losing to Okada, Ishii and Tanahashi for the Never Six-Man belts. Do go out of your way to watch Royal Quest's final two matches of Tomohiro Ishii vs Shingo Takagi and Will Ospreay vs Zack Sabre Jr. They were absolutely incredible live, and Dave Meltzer is already calling them both Match of the Year candidates, and that the content of Ospreay vs Sabre was better than Danielson vs Sabre, the Wrestle Dream match he gave 5.5 stars to. But all those people might all be joined by two other wrestlers as mainstays on non-WWE programming. After initially requesting their release from NXT back in April, the Dyads Jagger Reed and Rip Fowler officially became free agents on Saturday the 14th of October when their WWE contracts expired. They wasted no time and appeared at the DPW Live 3 show the very next day, using their pre-Schism faction names James Drake and Zach Gibson with the team name Grizzled Young Veterans. They beat the promotion's tag team champions, the Workhorsemen, who are signed with AEW, meaning they'll get a future shot at the belts. Fightful is reporting they filed trademarks for their respective ring names and for Grizzled Young Veterans and GYV. But unlike many who were released as part of September's WWE talent cuts, Drake and Gibson are taking direct aim at the company they just left, posting on X, "No production crew, tick," or Red Cross, "No spooky lighting, cross," "No contact lenses, cross. Me and Zach Gibson are proud professional wrestlers. We are the Grizzled Young Veterans. This is very likely pointed at the Grizzled Young Veterans repackaging back in April, where they went from cool British heels to Joe Gacy's spooky druids, complete with contact lenses and goofy outfits. Not done there though, Drake and Gibson also released a 2-minute-long video promo heavily critiquing NXT in all but name.
You've got soulless wrestlers with heartless gimmicks, and then you've got the death of creativity. We took a long look around and we said to ourselves, if this is the big life, then we're not looking to live it. We are sick of taking the safe option. We are sick of reading the same old boring scripts that go absolutely nowhere. And we are sick with dealing with knobheads that have wormed their way into this business.
I actually quite like NXT at the moment. Before going to WWE, the Grizzled Young Veterans were one of the best teams on the British indie scene, having tag title feuds with the likes of Aussie Open and Moustache Mountain in progress. They have been wrestling as part of WWE since 2017, with both men appearing on the inaugural NXT UK tournament show. Gibson seemingly addressed their transition from the indies to WWE and what is likely William Regal in their video promo.
A very famous British wrestler told us when we arrived in the States that it was time for us to put our head down and start listening to orders if we wanted to succeed. He said that he wanted us to have all the fun out of our system because there's no pirates here. Well, I am sorry. For anyone that had different expectations for us, I am sorry that we can't be who you wanted us to be.
With Grizzled Young Vets back on the indie scene, hopefully our own Brian Children will be able to commentate one of their matches soon. But for now, here he is on the Body Zoy six-way craziness between LJ Cleary, Joe Lando, Cormac Hamilton, NBM, Agile Blanc, and the flippiest of new flippy wrestlers, Leon Slater.
and up he goes onto the ladder. The ladder being, of course, his best friend in the world. And let's see if... Oh, he's been betrayed by the ladder. Oh, he's still got the superplex off, but he was betrayed by the ladder, as all best friends do betray people. Oh, a flippity doodah. Unbelievable stuff. Look at that. He went upside down and back to front. Now everybody's having a little lie down. And I'll tell you what, they're not relaxing. And who's this? Oh dear. He's got some silly ideas. He's going up from very far away. Oh, what's he going to be doing? Just telling them to go away? No, it isn't that. No, it's unbelievable. It's like a rocket ship, but going the other way, downwards into the ground, exploding all over the ring.
Oh my God, Brian. Well, he's better at it than searching for CM Punk. Why did I rehire him? If you run a wrestling promotion and want Brian Children to commentate on it, email your clips to support@WrestleTalk.com. The creative conflict between WWE management and its performers also appears to have been partly behind Adam Edge Copeland's decision to leave for AEW. On this week's episode of Talk is Jericho, Copeland revealed the original plans for his Judgment Day faction in WWE, that it was going to be a slow burn storyline which would see Finn Balor join them over the course of a year for all his proteges to then turn on Edge. But instead, I get to Hell in a Cell and it was like, nah, we're changing everything and we're speeding up that year-long process, and he's joining tomorrow and turning tomorrow. Copeland describes that as one of the first moments he realized he and WWE might not be the best fit for each other. Despite getting 30 custom suits made, a new haircut, music, and even changing his in-ring style, I tried changing everything and realized that, at this stage, it's not what they want. But it's not all wrestlers leaving WWE. In fact, it's become quite the opposite over the last year. Most people seem to want in. Two recent additions have been former AEW TBS champion Jade Cargill and former NWA and Impact champion Nick Aldis, who was made SmackDown's general manager on the Friday 13th episode. Fightful have reported that Aldis, unsurprisingly given that he's just been made an incredibly high-profile on-screen character, is now officially full-time with WWE. This follows a backstage trial run as a producer through the summer. As that trial run was on a free agent basis, he was still able to wrestle at indie shows, but that will now come to an end. Apparently, people backstage have nothing but praise for Aldis, describing him as eager and easygoing. This is very welcome, as Aldis himself confessed to long-running heat with senior WWE creative team member Bruce Pritchard, which they apparently resolved in 2022. Cargill is also said to have been very well received backstage, with Fightful noting she arrived early at Friday's SmackDown to talk to members of the roster before the show, endearing herself to everyone in the company. Enter Thunder Rosa Eyes emoji. In an appearance on Busted Open Radio, AEW star Rosa, who's been out injured for a year, spoke glowingly of how Cargill looks on WWE programming, and that she's doing something else, and it's like, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, if I go to somewhere else, I want to be treated like that, like a superstar. So it's really cool to see that, and my blessing to her, and I can't wait to see her in the ring, and I can't wait to see what they have for her. Rosa signed with AEW in July 2021, so she likely has time left on her contract. But given numerous reported and confirmed issues of backstage heat with her in the locker room, perhaps her words here are designed to let WWE know she's interested. WWE is just a hot product right now. Aldis has debuted. Cargill's debuted. Carlito made his return. Alberto Del Rio's in talks to come. No, not that one! Not that one! Stop it! Stop it! After the Wrestling Observer reported that Alberto was recently telling people he was coming back to WWE, but it won't happen now because Vince McMahon has lost power behind the scenes, because that's a great idea for Vince in his current situation. Eesh, all these sexual misconduct allegations just won't go away. I know, let's bring in someone who was accused of aggravated kidnapping. Sean Ross Sapp has posted a direct screenshot of his source in WWE's thoughts. I wouldn't be upset if you posted this verbatim, even a direct screenshot. No f***ing chance. While it's been 71 days since Roman Reigns last wrestled a match at August SummerSlam, he actually made his in-ring return at a WWE Super Show live event over the weekend. Following his return to SmackDown on Friday, he put his championship on the line against Sami Zayn at the Kansas City show the following night. After beating him, he ordered Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso to beat him down, until LA Knight made the save and laid Roman out with the BFT, all building towards their crown jewel match next month. Get tickets for our live watch-along party now by using the link link in the video description below. In one of those weird coincidences, the man originally planned for Roman's spot in the Shield all those years ago also announced his return to the ring that same night. At Saturday's West Coast Pro Wrestling show, Chris Hero, the former Cassius Ohno in NXT, saved Timothy Thatcher, who then attacked Hero for the good deed. They then announced Hero versus Thatcher for their November 17th show, which will be Hero's first match since March 2020. Hero has been working with AEW since July as a producer, so hopefully this means he's considering an in-ring return on TV too. Speaking of, Saturday also saw the latest episode of AEW Collision. Here's what happened in 1 minute, one take. Adam Copeland and Christian had another promo to open the show to do the talking version of the big brawl that closed Dynamite, i.e. everyone else in a major feud joined them, with Danielson, FTR and Starks and Big Bill interrupting. Samoa Joe beat Willie Mack to retain the ROH TV title. He's 20 days away from the longest TV title reign of all time. Hot and flexible, CJ Perry is looking for wrestlers to manage. Action Andretti introduced himself, so Miro killed him later on. Danhausen is returning. Juice Robinson beat Christopher Daniels, building him for MJF. Carl Fletcher beat Boulder and then challenged Kenny Omega for Dynamite. What? Yes, please. Chris Statlander beat Sky Blue to retain the TBS title. Willow Nightingale possibly positioned herself as next. Keith Lee squashed Turbo Floyd whilst being watched backstage by Shane Taylor Promotions. And Cage beat Danielson to retain the TNT title in a great main event with Starks and Bill interfering. Edge TR made the post-match beatdown save. 55 seconds. It's not even a challenge. But what was a challenge was me versus Sat in the first round of the returning Fantasy Booking Warfare. Watch on to find out more.
In this single elimination tournament in head-to-head competition. Each episode will feature its own booking scenario, judged brutally and voted on fairly by our esteemed panel of judges as we journey to determine who is the least terrible booker of fantasy wrestling.